The silence of an empty place is a different kind of quiet. It's not the peaceful pause of a sleeping city, but a deep, vast stillness that feels ancient and watchful. Out there, where the roads turn to gravel and the cell signal dies, the world operates on different rules. Help is a theoretical concept. A witness is a luxury. And sometimes the only thing left behind is a mystery. Today we explore 5 true stories of terror from the middle of nowhere. Our first story begins not with a scream, but with a wrong turn. On a February night in 1978, 5 young men left a basketball game in Chico, California. They were friends, and for all but one, life was navigated with the challenge of mild intellectual disabilities. Their car, a sturdy Mercury Monterey, was seen one last time at a Beale Air Force Base convenience store. They bought snacks, they laughed, and then they drove off into the darkness, heading for home. They never arrived. For weeks, there was nothing. Then a forest worker found the car. It was abandoned, stranded on a remote, snow-covered mountain service road in the Plumas National Forest, a place they had no logical reason to be. The car was in good condition. It had a full tank of gas. There was food inside, but the keys were gone. A single set of footprints led away from the vehicle into the vast white wilderness. The mystery deepened months later when the bodies began to appear. 4 of the men were found in a trailer cabin miles from their car. One of them, Ted Wire, had survived for weeks, dying of starvation and exposure despite there being food and a working propane heater mere feet away. The 5th man was found years later in a different, even more remote location. The case of the Yuba County Five remains a heartbreaking enigma. Why did they turn off the highway? Why did they leave the safety of their car? Why didn't they use the resources that could have saved them? The terror here is not of a monster, but of the inexplicable. The series of silent, wrong decisions that lead ordinary people into a trap from which there is no escape. From the snowy mountains of California, we journey to the lush, green highlands of Panama. In April 2014, 2 vibrant Dutch students, Kris Kremers and Lisanne Froon, were on the adventure of a lifetime. They set out one sunny morning for a day hike on the popular El Pianista Trail. It was a well-trodden path, and they expected to be back by dinner. They never returned. A massive search party found nothing. Then, 10 weeks later, a local woman found their backpack. It was dry, clean, and seemingly placed. Inside were their phones, their money, and their camera. What was on that camera would become the core of a haunting modern mystery. 90 photos, all taken in the dead of night, over a series of nights. The images are a chaotic, desperate puzzle. Blurred fragments of tree branches, a piece of plastic bag tied to a branch, and one chilling photo of the back of Kris's head, eerily lit by the camera's flash. They were photos taken in utter blackness by someone lost and terrified. Later, their remains were discovered scattered along a remote riverbank. The official cause was listed as a tragic accident, but the evidence fuels endless debate. Why were the night photos taken? What were they trying to see or signal? The story of Kris and Lisanne is a digital ghost story, a tale of terror written in the pixelated fragments of their final, desperate hours. Our third story takes us to a place that should have been a sanctuary. Keddie, California, 1981. A sleepy, wooded resort town where doors were left unlocked. Cabin 28 was rented by Sue Sharp, a mother trying to start a new life with her children. On the night of April 11th, the unthinkable happened. The terror didn't come from the woods outside. It came inside. Sue, her son John, and their friend Dana Wingate were brutally murdered. They were bound and beaten with a knife from the cabin's own kitchen. But the scene was one of bizarre contradictions. In the very same room, Sue's younger daughter Tina and another friend were left completely unharmed. Other children were sleeping in a nearby bedroom, hearing nothing. The investigation that followed was, in many ways, as horrifying as the crime. Evidence was mishandled. Leads were not pursued. The case went cold for decades, a festering wound in the community. It wasn't until recent years that a compelling suspect was identified, a volatile neighbor with a grudge, but by then, it was too late for official justice. The Keddie Cabin Murders shattered the illusion of the safe rural haven. It is a story that proves the most familiar evil is often the closest, living just a few doors down. If there is one story that defines the unsolvable, isolated mystery, it is the Dyatlov Pass incident. In January 1959, a team of 9 experienced Russian hikers, led by Igor Dyatlov, ventured into the northern Ural Mountains. They were tough, prepared, and skilled. They never returned. When search parties found their tent weeks later, the scene was one of utter chaos and confusion. The tent had been slit open from the inside. The hikers had fled in a sudden, panicked rush, leaving behind their warm coats, their boots, and their supplies in the sub-zero temperatures. Their footprints in the snow told a story of pure, unadulterated terror. The bodies were found in separate groups. Some had frozen to death in their underwear, others had horrific, inexplicable injuries. A crushed skull, massive internal trauma without external wounds, one was missing her tongue. There were no signs of a struggle with another person, and no other footprints for miles. The official Soviet investigation concluded they died from a compelling natural force. The case was sealed, but the theories exploded. Avalanches, infrasound-induced panic, secret military tests, or even something otherworldly. The Dyatlov Pass incident remains the ultimate cold case, a stark reminder that there are forces in nature or beyond that we do not understand, forces that can strike with silent, brutal efficiency in the world's most empty corners. For our final story, we travel to the most remote place on Earth, Bouvet Island, a tiny, glacier-clad speck of rock in the South Atlantic Ocean, over 1,000 miles from the nearest inhabited land. It is barren, hostile, and utterly empty. In 1964, a British expedition confirmed its total desolation. There was nothing, just rock and ice. But 2 years later, a South African team landed on the island. As they explored, they made a discovery that defied all logic. In a small frozen lagoon, they found a lifeboat. It was abandoned, but largely intact. There were no identifying marks. Nearby, they found a copper drum and a pair of oars. There was no wreckage of a ship, no bodies, no logbook, nothing. An extensive search revealed no record of any missing ships in the area. It was as if this lifeboat, this vessel of salvation, had simply materialized on the most inaccessible shore on the planet, its passengers vanishing into the Antarctic air. The lifeboat of Bouvet Island is the ultimate maritime ghost story. It offers no answers, only a profound and chilling image of abandonment. It is a silent testament to the ocean's vast, unknowable secrets, and a reminder that in the true middle of nowhere, things can simply appear, leaving behind a silence more terrifying than any scream. These 5 stories, from mountains and jungles to a lonely island, are united by the profound power of isolation. They remind us that the map still has its blank spaces, places where logic breaks down and the ordinary can become a nightmare. Let me know which of these stories you found the most unsettling in the comments below. If you have your own tale from the middle of nowhere, I'd love to hear it. If you enjoyed this journey into the unexplained, please help support this channel by liking, subscribing, and hitting the notification bell so you never miss a story. Thank you for watching, stay curious, and stay safe.